Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to the 7. Weather is at the top of our Big 7 at 7 list for you tonight. Parts of our area got brief soakings this afternoon. As a matter of fact, the showers hitting in some places while the sun was shining in others. As a matter of fact, that's the case of what you're seeing here. One of our crews was on Highway 321 down in Lenore City, sending in this video of heavy rain just after 2 o'clock, while back here in North Knoxville, well, just some clouds filled the sky. Then just before 3 o'clock, that rain made it to us. One of our photographers poked a camera out the door while the rain was soaking our parking lot. Not long after, it was like someone just turned off the tap. So let's see what to expect next. Checking in now with Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Ken Weathers. Ken, how are we looking?
Summertime, right? That's exactly the pattern that we're seeing. Just had another downpour that made its way through downtown Knoxville. This is Market Square, people walking around. A couple people still have some umbrellas as this last bit of rain just moved through our area. That's pushing north. Some heavier rain in Morgan County along Interstate 40 and some near Oak Ridge as well. Kind of a wider perspective, not as much coverage as what we saw earlier, but we're still going to hold on to a couple of these random downpours right up till about midnight, and then a little bit quieter as we go overnight tonight. I still think a random shower is possible, but the greater coverage will start to decrease as we go a little bit later in the overnight hours. But we're not done. We're going to ramp those opportunities up again as we go through the day on our Wednesday, and we start out mild, mid to upper 60s. Bo, I'll tell you when some drier air moves back in. That's coming up in a minute.
All right, sounds good. We'll check back with you. Well, a big question in our big story list for you. Where will everyone park for the ball games when the new stadium opens up? The multi-use Knoxville Stadium is well on its way in its construction process, already passing the halfway point. Stadium intended to be the home of the Knoxville Smokies, One Knox, and other entertainment events will house 7,500 seats and create an estimated 400 jobs. Well, last month, the city of Knoxville hired Walker Consultants to conduct an analysis of parking and mobility downtown, finding there are more than 20,000 street parking spaces available, with over half that are public. Now, they note that the stadium is less than a mile from State Street Garage, and they are looking at what they call creative solutions to find more parking. But having difficulty parking nearby is not a new concept for many businesses in the area, and one says downtown is walkable.
We've got to get people learned or relearned that, you know, the State Street Garage is 5 minutes from the stadium walk and 6 minutes from the old city. That, you know, on a nice day, just park somewhere and walk it. Don't spend the 15 minutes driving in a parking garage looking for space. Just find one and then go wherever you're going downtown.
According to Boyd Sports, they are actively working with the city to create a parking plan, which they expect to be finalized by the fall. Big arrests after violent encounters in the heart of downtown Knoxville. That's next for you. Knoxville police have now arrested 2 suspects in connection with 2 different stabbing incidents in Crouch Park this week. 60-year-old David Moore has been arrested and charged with aggravated assault. This comes after officers received a tip submitted through East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers after saying they were looking for a, quote, bald white man. Over the weekend, we reported a man was found suffering from a stab wound in Crouch Park around 11:30 in the evening. He was then sent to UT Medical Center with, quote, serious injuries. The victim is in the ICU, but in stable condition. The second stabbing happened Monday night around 10:50. The victim told police a man drove up in an electric wheelchair, started an argument before stabbing him in the stomach. A witness apparently told police that the suspect drove his electric wheelchair south on Market. Well, a Knoxville officer later found him on Locust Street near Summit Towers. The suspect, identified as Kevin Self, apparently admitted to stabbing the victim. Plus, police tell us the knife was found in a pouch on the back of his wheelchair with blood still on it. He also was arrested and charged with aggravated assault. Both victims, by the way, are receiving treatment but are expected to be okay. Police do not believe the stabbings were connected. Next on our list for you, big help for hikers facing some big trouble in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We're hearing from the National Guard team that helped perform 2 different rescue operations over the weekend. The first incident happened on May 31st. A hiker was suffering from respiratory distress in a remote area of the park near Mount LeConte Lodge. Lifestar was not able to respond because of visibility and turbulence concerns, so the Tennessee National Guard went to work. Rescuers were lowered from a helicopter to hoist the victim and his wife into the helicopter and take them to UT Medical Center for treatment. Just 2 hours later, rescuers received another report of a hiker in trouble, this time suffering possible cardiac distress along the Alum Cave Trail. They were also hoisted into the aircraft and taken to UT Medical. We were able to speak to the pilot for one of those missions, and he told us the most important thing to remember if you plan to hike in the Smokies, bring extra supplies, and if you can, wear those bright colors just in case.
People go up there in browns and blacks, and they go hiking, they get lost, they go off trail, and then they call us in for a search and rescue. And man, it'd be nice to have some bright colors, wouldn't it? Yeah. So just being prepared. You'd be surprised how many people we go up and get that, got stuck up there, didn't have the right equipment on, got unexpected, cold spell dropped in. They went up in, chacos and a tank top, and then all of a sudden there's a hypothermia situation. Sometimes people get caught at night. They don't plan the best on their timing, and then night will fall, and then they get stranded up there in the middle of the night without equipment.
We should note, Major Holmes told us he averages about 4 to 5 rescues a year, so 2 rescue calls in just a matter of hours is rare. Our list rolls on with answers about a police chase for you. We're getting to show you the moment after the arrest was made. A viewer is sending us the picture you see behind me here of officers about to put the driver, David Esserman, into a transport van. And here's another view showing the end of the chase in the Whittle Springs Road and Hoyt Avenue area. You got to look down the street here, but you can see them right there. Police officers using their cruiser to push the rear bumper of that silver car, causing it to spin out. We're told after the car stopped, Esserman ran over a deputy's foot and rammed into a cruiser before he was then ultimately taken into custody. A deputy searched Esserman and his car, and they tell us they found more than 350 grams of suspected marijuana and more than $40,000 in cash. Esserman was charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault, plus evading arrest, resisting arrest, and a drug charge. Big efforts to stop the outbreak of distemper at Young Williams Animal Center. We learned today Young Williams is dealing with more cases. Tonight, the group has suspended dog adoptions at a second shelter, the Division Street location, until further notice. Distemper is a highly contagious disease that affects dogs' respiratory, gastrointestinal, and nervous systems. Cat adoptions, however, we need to point this out, will continue at Division Street. So again, cat adoption will continue. We told you last week about Young Williams closing its Animal Village location on Kingston Pike and Bearden after a dog there tested positive for distemper. The exposed dogs are being isolated to stop the disease from spreading. Young Williams plans to finish testing at the village today or tomorrow, planning to move forward with adoptions there once those tests are finalized. And we are wrapping up our Big 7 list for you with a big celebration for state champions from Knox County. We've been showing you the state title winning plays, like what you see behind me, the celebrations, if you will, with Knox County high schoolers taking home lots of hardware in spring sports. Well, happening right now, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs bringing the championship athletes together for a night of champions. This is a live look for you right now. We're going to have more on this event coming up for you tonight at 11 o'clock. But again, well-deserved, and congratulations to all those athletes and their families. Hey, we're getting the chance to put the spotlight on a first responder who is not letting anything hold him back. I want you to meet Kenneth Bosch, a firefighter with Rural Metro. He tells us being a firefighter was his dream, really since childhood. But after getting out of the military, Bosch was in the process of becoming a contractor until an accident with a miter saw cost him his left hand. Bosch, stuck with his dream, and this year, he graduated from the Tennessee Fire Service and Codes Enforcement Academy.
In reality, this job, you see everybody with 2 hands, and it's already a difficult job already. So to have 1 hand and think that I'm gonna be able to succeed was a little bit difficult for me to wrap my head around. But like I said, I wasn't gonna give up.
Not only did he graduate the academy, but he also received the Garland King Award. This is the award that is given to the top recruit with the best work ethic.